Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the live stream. It's our weekly live stream, and it's number 71. It's kind of crazy, and to think that I missed quite a few. I think we'd probably be closer to a maybe 90 at this point if I didn't. But either way, welcome to the weekly live stream Q&A. Every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you guys just come in, ask your questions, and wherever wherever this goes, it goes. I think last week we went off on kangaroos. Pretty sure about that. So yeah, welcome, guys. So what's up, George Harris? What's going on, man? What's up? And by the way, for all members, just in case you're not aware, if you haven't seen Gabe, there's specific emojis that you guys get if you become a member. And I only have one perk. It's that you get added to the scrolling credits of the of any video that I upload, and that's only because it was a good idea to have perks on the channel. So that's about all I got for you. So, anyways, there are some Fish of Hex aquatic specific emojis. Not all of them are appropriate, but they do work. Looks like the notification came out on the phone, which is good. It only took what, a minute? That's pretty good, right? Yeah, a minute, 15 seconds. Not mad about that. We're doing something right. What's up, Salty Reef? What's going on, guys? So if you're not aware of this, I do sell Kessel lighting on the website. I know I haven't talked about it in a while, but some of you guys have been checking that stuff out, so I appreciate that. What happens is you order and Kessel sends it to you, which is nice. So I appreciate that. And yeah, just figured I'd throw that out there. Let's see, JCS Reefing. Evening, everyone. What's up, guys? New member, Wayne. Wayne was a member before, I'm pretty sure. Wayne, you're the one that had that, correct me if I'm wrong, you're the one military guy, and you had that rock that you got overseas that almost just, well, it did destroy your tank. We had some Skype calls, I'm pretty sure. I'm almost positive that's you. Is that you? I'm pretty sure it is. I know, it's got to be the last name. If it's not, then, well, whoops. But yeah, let's see here. Pandemic Reef. What's up, dude? What's going on? Member. Cool. All right, so I don't think I have any announcements other than the fact that there are some new new CO2 attachment lids. All right, Wayne, that was you. Okay, cool. I'll get into that here in a second because I think people might want to know about that. But there's a few new skimmers going up on the website. If you guys have sent in your skimmer lid, I have a pile of them here. I'm hoping to get them done within the week, so appreciate that. So yeah, sorry for the delay on that. It just kind of takes a while to sit down and make those. But yeah, so Wayne, yeah, I don't know if you want to share the story or whatever was going on with your rock, but we did some Skype calls, and when I talk about a forest of green hair algae, unbelievable amount of green hair algae to the point that his fish were too fat to swim, right? No, but it was pretty bad. And I come to find out that it was just this man-made rock. We're not going to throw the company under the bridge or anything, but so there was this man-made rock, I guess, with cement and sand and all sorts of stuff. And he got it from overseas, spent a pretty decent amount of money on it, and yeah, basically put it in his tank, even curing it, and it just destroyed his tank. And that's there was no amount of curing that was going to fix that. And but yeah, it was pretty rough. It was bad. So he took all that rock out, he cured some new stuff, put it in there, and now the tank is rocking real good. So no, I won't throw any names under the bus. I don't like, or under the bridge. Is it the same thing? I guess you don't get killed if you jump under a bridge, right? Bus is the other thing. But yeah, it was pretty bad. It was really bad. Question here. What does it say? Salty Reef says, do you know how to become a member on an iPhone? Ooh, I do not. I have no idea. You'd have to Google that. I have no clue. All right. What's up? Great afternoon from Southern California. That's right. You guys are 3 hours behind. Still daylight. Daylight over there. What's up, Darren? What's going on, man? You're in Washington, I'm pretty sure. Darren's in Washington. I'm almost positive it's Washington. Yeah. Remember shipping stuff out there for him. Let's see here. Get through these comments. Razor from Brightwell works great on green hair algae. The razor from Brightwell? What is that? Is that a Is that the a product or what? I don't want to Google it right now, but there you go. You can do it only. You can only do it on desktop. Well, there you go. Andrea told you. Only on desktop. I'm just scrolling through here, guys. Give me a second. Looking forward to my power management mounts. Did you just put that order in recently, Reggie? I can look, but yeah, turnaround time on 3D printing is pretty decent now. It's like a week and a half, 2 weeks, which is a lot better than a month and a half. So, well, got those down. I only have 1.5 printers down. The half one will be fixed tomorrow. So, the direct drive on that printer it actually took a crap on me. So the motor itself died on me. So I ordered one of those. It'll be here tomorrow. So that printer will be back up, and then I just have to replace the springs on the feeder for the other one. It'll be back up. So pretty good so far. I haven't had really too many printers down, which has been very good for getting stuff done. The only downside is I'm probably going to make a couple more printers just specifically for the office, so I can take this other one and put it downstairs. And then just have the rack system full, and then have 2 up here for test prints. I think I'm going to do that in a couple weeks, just so I can have a little additional help here. Let's see. Okay, he's going to check that out. Yo, what's up, Travis and everyone? What's up? Yeah, he's in Washington. Thought you were. Let's go. By the way, for you guys who are wondering, I did not get any deer yet this hunting season. I went out twice because it's been 80 degrees in Pennsylvania, and deer don't do anything at 80 degrees. They sleep. So yeah, and my trail cams only have activity between like 1 a.m. and 4 a.m. So yeah, obviously those aren't legal shooting hours, but the temperature's going to have to either change drastically or just really just drop slowly over the next few weeks. But it's basically pointless to go out right now. You might catch something, starting the rut. You might catch something running around, but I mean, it's so hot. They're not doing anything. So, and then hiking into the woods a couple miles and then going up the tree, and you're sweating your balls off. It's not good all around. So, yep, I'm probably, I don't know. I'll see what I can do. Hopefully the temperature drops, but I've been doing a lot of training, so I haven't really had much time to get out anyways. It's coming tomorrow. You ever decide on adding new corals to the 300? Okay, so I have added a few corals back to the 300. If you guys are wondering, the live stream video here is not what the 300 looks like anymore. I think maybe 1/10 the coral in this video is in that tank right now. It is pretty naked. I have started getting more corals in for WYSIWYG, and so that stuff will be up over the next few days. But I really haven't put too much back into the 300. Like I mentioned last live stream, I have to make some decisions for the coral side of the business. So there's 3 different sides. So there's 4 technically, but so we have coral, we have the 3D printing, we have the candles, and then I have like my consulting tanks and builds and stuff. So there's technically like 4 or 5 different ports, or I guess spectrums of the business. And the coral side of things has been really good, but because my prices are, I guess, below industry standard, so because I grow the stuff myself, I've sold a lot of coral over the last year and a half. I mean, a ton of coral, to the point that I can't grow it fast enough to keep up with the demand. And with that said, that's why most of the stuff is out of stock, just because I have nubs left, or I need to give it some kind of opportunity to grow before I keep cutting it. So I have to make some decisions. I think I'm going to just order in corals and kind of just take the system in that direction for now, because I got to sustain this side of the business for at least another year and a half before I relocate and upgrade and do all the things that we've talked about. But so I have to do something, and the only realistic thing I can do is order in corals and kind of go from there, and get stuff from local guys and that kind of thing. But yeah, I didn't really think it was going to get to this point given how much I've had, but yeah, it is what it is. I'm glad I have the 3D printing to kind of take some of the weight off of the coral side of things, and I am branching out. I am going to look to adding. I'm looking to starting a couple other companies. And I'll tell you guys about that stuff a little bit later, but I'm trying to kind of get my paws into a few things, kind of diversify and do some investments, and just kind of trying to get out there, because you never know, man, this YouTube stuff could dry up real quick. And, who knows what's going to happen. I can't let my whole future be dependent on just a couple things. Yeah, so kind of just seeing what I want to do. Not really in any kind of rush, just kind of put my feelers out there. What's up, Will? But yeah, getting tissue loss on SPS frags. Elk is 9, calcium is 481, magnesium is 1300. I recently had phosphate spike, went to 0.8, got it down over a week to 0.05. With phosphate X, par is 250, 300, good flow, nitrate 10 ideas. Well, the first thing you should have done is not put any chemicals in your tank to drop the phosphates. I would have let that stuff come down slowly. I guess you had a phosphate spike. What I would have done is determined, I know everything's hindsight, right? So, but I would have determined what that phosphate spike was from and then just stop doing whatever that was. And then let the levels come down slowly and naturally. The thing is jumping down so quickly is really going to shock the tank. I mean, even vice versa. If you guys have seen, I used to, I did a little test there. Let's just dump in nitrates and phosphates because heck, it's like almost 500 gallons. It's all right, right? It's not all right. So getting that spike and then bringing it down relatively quickly over a week with a chemical is why you have tissue loss. That's exactly why. It's just too much. It's too much of a fluctuation. Parameter wise, 9 elk is good. Calcium is fine. Magnesium is, it's fine. Being, 13. I usually do 1350 to 1450, but it is what it is. I mean, it's nothing too crazy. You can come up a little bit on mag, but that's not what's making or breaking your system at this point. So I would say next time, let things be the way they are. But next time, if you have this issue, just go ahead and let it come down naturally and just stop whatever it is that caused the spike in the first place. That's what I would have done. So live and learn. That's one of the many things that are beneficial about this hobby is you live and you definitely learn. What Kessel lights is equivalent to the AI Prime HD in your opinion? AI Prime HD. AI Prime HD. I'd say the A360X. Yeah. Yeah, I would say the A360X is a little bit more powerful, but I mean, I would put that light over the same tank I'd put an AI Prime HD. I probably wouldn't have it up as high, but that's I think that's a good equivalent. Spreads a little bit better on the Kessel, and obviously you get a little bit more shimmer. What's up? Could be yawning out of the way here. Whew, it's a long ass day. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, it's been abnormally warm here in PA, and it looks like it's going to be like that for the next few weeks. I know in my area it's supposed to be 85 tomorrow. Yeah, it was 83 today in Harrisburg, central Pennsylvania. So, yeah, I mean, deer are not walking around at 85 degrees. I don't care. Nothing. I even stayed in the tree till it was dark, and I was like, nothing. So, yeah, it's bumming because I usually get a doe or a buck by this time every year, but it's also a lot colder. And by this time. So what's good is I'm going to get out as much as I can. I usually don't, in public land, I only hunt archery. I'm not a big fan of being out there with a rifle or a muzzleloader. And I don't like being out on public land with people who have rifles or muzzleloaders because people are idiots. So, and you just need one guy who just thinks he saw a deer and he just starts shooting wildly into the woods, and you end up being that person even with orange. So with that said, I'm hoping the temperature will drop and I'll be able to get something in archery season before it gets crazy. But I also have my veterans hunt in December, which is super stoked about. I just got notified that they got me another doe tag and I get to do the buck tag up there. So I'm super excited. It's 100% guaranteed to walk out of there with at least one. It's pretty awesome. I look forward to it every year. We didn't get to do it last year because of COVID. So, but yeah, what's up, George? Welcome to be a member. Go ahead and try out your new emojis. But yeah, super excited about that. And hopefully something will come up. Shot a 3x3 last weekend, blacktail out here. Awesome. Congrats, Ben. Yeah, congrats. I know, man, I would love to get out there, but I'm kind of, this is a weird thing. And this is the first year I've had to deal with this, is that the there's so much stuff that needs to be done that I feel guilty for being in the woods. I know that seems weird, but the 4 hours or 5 hours that I spent yesterday in the woods, I could have been shipping stuff and getting stuff done and getting caught up on QuickBooks and yada, 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 yada. So because I didn't get anything yesterday, I feel like all that time is just wasted. So if there's a way that I can probably bring my laptop and be in the tree doing QuickBooks while I'm waiting for a deer to come by, I probably will figure that out. That's actually probably not a bad idea because I do saddle hunt. So that's legit a possibility. I might do that. I might just do QuickBooks and stuff while I'm sitting in the tree. But yeah, that's kind of where what I've been thinking. Have you ever considered having local hobbyists help grow out corals for you? Well, I got a lot of guys here that I get corals from, but the thing is that I don't have a coral QT anymore, just because I just don't have the room with the printers and all the stocking of inventory and all that stuff. So it's difficult to get new corals in, and I only like to get stuff from reputable hobbyists that have no pests and obviously no issues with that. So there's a little bit of a chance. So if I start importing corals and I start getting stuff, I'm gonna have to be careful. I'm mainly gonna have to get in stuff that's not acropora. If I'm gonna import from not local guys, it's got to be not acropora and not montipora, because those are two things that are just, the pests are so devastating. I can deal with a flatworm or a red bug. That's not a problem. But getting in something that's got like an acropora eating flatworm or a nudibranch on it is just not an option for me. So if I am going to get stuffing from wholesalers, it's going to be basic stuff that doesn't have those pests that can really devastate my system. And then at that point, it's just kind of, it's not something that I'm necessarily going to enjoy, but I do have to keep coral going. So yeah, we'll figure it out. But yeah, I do have local guys that I get stuff from all the time. But not too many. Is Brandon here? Isn't your brother's name Brandon? Yeah, KB Reef. It is definitely Brandon. Yeah, where is Brandon, by the way? What's up, dude? Not here. Anyway. Hello from Canada. What's up? I love Trailer Park Boys. That is my favorite show ever, forever. Trailer Park Boys. And then, I would say between Trailer Park Boys and The Office, those are my two favorite shows. And Office isn't on Netflix anymore, but for whatever reason, they thought that was a good idea. But yeah. Yeah, happy Canada. Anyways, back to your question. I finished testing and programming my Jabo autodoser. Have you ever had any issues with it over time? Yeah, the newer. I hate to be a jerk on this one, but yeah, I used their pumps when I originally made that video about autodosing, or what is it? Programming and calibrating that pump. That version was good. As time went on, the pump just kind of turned into a pile of junk. And there's always somebody in the comment section who gets super pissed when I talk crap on Jabo. Oh well, but yeah, I wouldn't use Jabo auto dosing pumps anymore, just because their reliability has kind of gone downhill. I hate to say that since you just kind of got it going, but I would say calibrate it once a month. That's what I would do. I had a client that had to do that, and that's the only way he could keep it working. Then he got sick of doing that and then just bought an Apex one. So, but yeah, it's just, hopefully maybe just the few that I got were duds, but granted, how many I had that started not working well, I don't know if that's a possibility. So I would calibrate it pretty often and just keep an eye on it. I know that's not the the answer you wanted, but it's bad news. What's the easiest way to plumb multiple tanks together off one sump? Want to do a few frag tanks all in one system. Well, depends on how you have them laid out. If you have them side by side and then say your main display's in the middle and frag tanks on the side, what I would do is one drain. So get an inch. I don't know what your sump is, but if you can get an 1.5 inch piping, what you do is you run 1.5 inches all the way down back to your sump, and then you'll just take the 1-inch drains from each one of those tanks, and they will dump into the 1.5 inch, and then just go down. Make sure you put an end cap on the 1.5, and then you just kind of flow back down together, and then do one return, and then just have it tee off with ball valves before it goes into each tank. That way you can add back pressure, and it'll send flow to the other tanks. So again, 1.5 inch drain all the way down to the sump. Take all the 1-inch drains from each frag tank, dump it into the 1.5, and then do one return, or yeah, one return line of water, and then have it teed off with ball valves before it goes into each tank. And that way you can take care of all that. So hopefully they're side by side, draining into a 40-gallon breeder DIY sump. Well, exactly. There you go. There's my answer. Hopefully that helps you out. And the only reason why I say go to 1.5 inches is because there's no chance that you're going to have too much flow for that 1.5. I mean, it'd have to be an insane amount of flow to really mess that up. So, yeah, a lot of people like to go down to 1 inch, but I don't really. Ugh, it doesn't feel good. Not with multiple tanks. Too risky. How can I get and keep my phosphates and nitrates with my 40 plus fish? I have a custom Geo's Reef sump that has 2 filter socks and fleece roller. I was thinking maybe a algae scrubber, or what can I do? You have 40 fish in that tank. I guess that's not too bad given the size of it, but I would do an algae scrubber or a refugium. I don't remember if you had a refugium or not when I looked at the tank. Algae scrubber is fine. Refugium, I mean, I think they're just as good. Personal preference on that. A lot of people say the algae scrubber is more efficient, but that's on you to figure it out. So to manage phosphates and nitrates, I think using macroalgae is your best bet. And if you want, you can cut back on the feeding a little bit. I know there's a lot of fish in there, but I mean, they're not going to starve if you feed them a little bit every day or a little bit every other day. It's not a big deal. Yeah, I mean, just because they look hungry, I mean, they'll be fine. They're not going to die. So as long as they're not skinny or look sick, I think you'll be all right. So you maybe cut back on feeding a little bit, and to add some macroalgae or a scrubber would be a good idea. You can increase your water changes, change your filter socks, but you're using the roller. So, yeah, maybe get a bigger skimmer. I don't remember what you had on the setup. A bigger skimmer would help. And I would just avoid like bio pellets or any kind of phosphate media at the moment. See if you can do it naturally, and then go from there. Possibly add that stuff later if you can't do it. You're talking about the natural way of reducing PO4 slowly to avoid tissue loss with SPS. Doing more frequent water changes and reducing feedings. I'm assuming. I would say maybe not more water changes. Definitely reducing feeding, but whatever. He said he got a phosphate spike, so there was something that he did that caused that phosphate spike. It didn't just happen. So it could have been overfeeding, could have been different food. I mean, who knows? Maybe a fish died or something. But there wasn't. I didn't get any details on that. So yeah, you can do more water changes. I wouldn't say the amount any bigger. I guess you could do, maybe a 10%, and an additional 10 or 20% a month if you really wanted to. But I think reducing the feeding and using macroalgae or another natural method to bring those levels down would be a good idea. I just find that if you use like Phosphate X, or I think that's what it's called, or if you use something to bring a level down relatively quickly, you end up just running into the issue with that fluctuation. And that's what I think he had the problem with for that tissue loss. So, but that's just me. I prefer to do the things more naturally, just because there's less variables. There's less cards in there, if that makes any sense. There's less things to juggle and worry about. You can pinpoint your problem. So when you have less things going on in your reef tank, you can pinpoint any problems that come up a little bit sooner. And there's less, kind of trying to process and trial and error, trying to figure out where the problem might be coming from. So that's just kind of my approach to reefing. It's not, end all be all. QuickBooks on a cell phone. I can't do that. I can't do reconciliation on a cell phone. I would think Deer would hear you typing on a laptop. You got a good point there, man. It'd be more clicking than anything. Yeah, I guess I have to get one of those Air remotes or whatever. I used to have one of those, but yeah. I mean, my luck, I'll get the laptop out, start working, then Bambi come walking by with his big brother. I'm like, okay, yeah. Yeah, or it would rain, because it usually rains when I go out. So, if you have to use a chemical to reduce PO4, would you advocate using half dose? That would be safer for SPS. I mean, if you have to absolutely use a chemical to bring PO4 down, then yeah, I would use half the recommended for like GFO or any other product that you're using to bring those levels down. I think starting with a half or even 1/4 the recommended dose just to see how it impacts the SPS. Because with that tissue loss, you got to think now that that one thing is going to take months and months of repair for it to, for that color to come back or for that tissue to kind of be grown over, and it's a mess. So yeah, I just I prefer to not use it, but if you have to, probably start really low. Because what's the worst thing? You don't put enough in, and then you're like, oh, I need to add a little bit more. It's better than, oh, I put too much in and now I'm screwed. It's better to add than to try to remove. Where do you recommend to keep your phosphates at? I usually keep mine. Well, I just have a range that I recommend people do, and it's depending on the coral that you have. But generally, for a mixed reef, anything between 0.07 and 0.15 is pretty good. Um, I've been on both spectrums. I mean, I've had Dino come in like crazy, and then I have just dumped in phosphates just to see what would happen. Because I like playing games with hundreds of thousands of dollars of coral just because that's I like to live recklessly, I suppose. But no, and seriously, no, seriously though, that's just being lazy. But yeah, so 0.07 and 0.15 is kind of the range that I recommend you stay in for a mixed reef. But it's going to be dependent. If you have a full on, you might want to run a little bit higher if you have a bunch of euphilia or a bunch of mushrooms or zoas that kind of want the more nutrients. It is just gonna have to play with it depending on what you got going in the tank. Oh, we already mentioned that. Yep, that's Darren's ranges. No problem, M. Clifford. Let's see what we have here. It's off. Still no new roast video. Yeah, dude, Caleb, get in line. I know, man. I know. I didn't get any videos out this week. I got barely anything out this week. I do the majority of my jiu-jitsu training Monday. So Monday was 2.5 hours, and then Tuesday I did 4 hours, I think, on Tuesday. It was 5:30 to 9, something like that. So I don't know what the heck that is. But either way, it was a pretty rough session. And then Wednesday morning, I usually do an hour, and then I do open mat for 45 minutes after that. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays are like my hit the BJJ pretty hard. And then of course I got the kids and all sorts of stuff going on. So yeah, I didn't get any videos out this week, or at least if I did, I don't remember when I did, but yeah, just got to try to squeaker. Is that the word I'm looking for? I got to fit those in. Anyways, if you could start your fish room over again, would you still use low boys or do more of the white tubs? I would not use the low boys. I'm even debating on just getting rid of those low boys now. But I can't really do it because I actually use the top of the low boys for storage, all the shelving up there. So just because I don't really like the low boys, they are just, I don't know. They don't seem deep enough, and I can't get the flow that I want in there without blowing a bunch of colonies around. And the fish really don't like it that it's not very deep because I'd like to put a little bit bigger fish in there. And I don't know. I don't really care for them anymore. They were cool in the beginning. I mean, I've used them for a while now, but I much prefer the white tubs or something kind of that size. But again, I just kind of gonna have to maintain what I have now for the next year and a half, and then go from there. Can't wait for winter here. Yeah, I'm looking forward to in Tennessee. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to winter this year. I think we're gonna have a good one, at least in the Northeast, or well, am I kind of Northeast? Yeah, somewhat. Because we didn't really have much last year, and I just got this feeling we're gonna get slammed, which I'm not mad about. I mean, I got new tires for the truck, and yeah, might as well finish rusting it out. My refugium was overloaded with flatworms, so I got rid of the algae and cleaned it out really well. I haven't been able to find clean macroalgae yet. That's how I ended up with a spike in phosphates. Well, if you go to fishofhex.com, I think it's in stock. I don't know. Might not be. I sold a shit ton of it last week. I might have took it out of stock. Macroalgae. Never mind. It's out of stock. It'll be back in stock in like a week or two. I got to let it fill back up. Never mind. Don't listen to me. But thanks for letting me know how you got that. Wrasses in the display keeps pest under control. Tried a few 6-line wrasses refugium, but they didn't do it. Well, then get the flatworm X or whatever it is. Just make sure you go through the directions, watch some videos on it. Use the carbon, manually siphon out what you can. Of course, do a nice water change after, that kind of stuff. But I wouldn't do it now. I mean, don't do it right now. Let your coral kind of adjust to what's going on. Get yourself some more macroalgae. But if you see them come back up, then consider that flatworm X. I gotta stop freaking yawning over here. Holy crap! It's only 8:30, man. I'm getting old. That's it. SPS color was going to crap, so I thought reduced phosphates would help. Well, the thing that I've noticed is that if you go up in phosphates, the corals are automatically going to start getting darker instantly, just because the increase in nutrients causes an explosion of growth of the zooxanthellae, which causes the coral to get darker. And as soon as that happens, the colors just look awful. But if you let it slowly adjust and come back down, the colors will go back to normal. It's just going to take a little while. That's one thing with SPS is it doesn't take much to jack up the colors, especially on like torts. That's one thing that I'm having some issues right now with my torts, just because I had a little bit of a nutrient plummet again with shipping coral. But yeah, I just those smooth skinned corals, man. Those things are awful when it comes to that. But one of the challenges of doing all this. All right, think of GFO like this. The amount you use can only pull out the total amount of PO4 relative to the water volume. Once the GFO has maxed out as much as it can pull out, you can't pull anymore. Yeah, so don't use a lot of it and adjust, change it out frequently. Use a little bit, just change it out frequently. I know that when I had a client that had really high phosphates, I had him change it out every week, but he used like 1/3 the recommended amount and changed it out every week, and it slowly brought that stuff down. So you're right. Good way to put that there. Nice. Whatever the heck that is. Is that a baby with glasses? But so use a little as possible. Yep, there you go. Do your emojis not show up on your comment highlighted software? It does not show up on StreamYard, no, but it does show up on the chat itself. So yes, there's a wiener before that statement there. But no, but it doesn't show up here. No. And we're 30 minutes in. Travis, how long would you recommend running the lights on your Fuge for using Chaeto? If you're just getting the Chaeto and you're not sure how long the lights have been on for, I would say start low, maybe like a 12. I think that's a safe way to start. But if you want to maximize the efficiency of the Chaeto, I think moving up to like a 16 is good. 16 on, even an 18 on. It just kind of depends on what your tank is. The goal is to always have, and it really has to work around how long your tank lights are on, because my lights are on quite a long time. Is the one thing I like to do with my macroalgae is I always want the light to kick on at least an hour before the display lights go off, because usually I have my display lights ramping down for an hour, and having the Chaeto kick on kind of starts, the whole process of, exporting nutrients and kind of just going through that whole thing. So having the Chaeto kick on an hour before the lights go off, and vice versa before they come on, after they come on, having them turn off an hour after they turn on. Did I say that right? I don't know if I said that right, but either way, my brain's going into la la land. But yeah, that's kind of how I've always ran my refugiums, and it just kind of works out that my lights are usually on for 14 hours anyways. But yeah, that's how you make that coral grow faster, man. There's some downsides to that. I have to mention that if you're going to run your lights for like 14 hours, 15 hours a day, understand that you don't do it right away. I mean, a lot of the corals I have adjusted to that, but that's how I've been getting a lot of growth. Is I run a pretty decent par. I would say upwards 500, 600, 700 par, depending on where you are in the tank. And then I keep the lights on for at least 14 hours. And then there's ramping as well. So that's the only way I've been able to grow colonies really quickly. It's been working out. I mean, I've done it since the 125 days. It's just, when you get new corals in, you gotta adjust them. All right. Hey, Travis, have you ever had Red Planet? Yes. If so, what par did you have them in? I actually have some that came back to life in the 300. I just saw it the other day. I used to have a ton of it in there. And then I had a staghorn come through and wipe it out. And then I had a tort come through and wipe it out as well. But it's one of those corals that likes low par. I think right now it's probably sub 200 par. and it's got a decent amount of red. It's not as vibrant as I would like it to be. I think it's just because my nutrients aren't the greatest at the moment, but um, I would say 250 is a pretty safe bet for Red Planet, but I have a buddy who has it around 500 and it still looks good. So I think it's one of those corals that you could probably get away with the higher par, but to be safe for the sake of not bleaching it out, I would start a little bit lower. And then if your tank, if it grows in, if you say you started at 250, which I've had a lot of corals start at 250 and grow into 5, 6, 700 par. So if it grows into that and does well, that's fine. But I would say 250, 300 ish, and then just kind of see where it goes from there. But Red Planet is one of my favorite acros for sure. I'm glad it came back, but it's a jungle in there, man. Well, it's kind of a jungle. It's a coral world in that tank. Survival of the fittest, and I'll tell you right now, I got an encrusting Montipora that is. It's not the purple Monty. It's a green encrusting Monty on the middle left rock structure. If this thing gets to my what is that damn coral I got in there? It's like $200 for a quarter inch of this crap, and it's actually a pretty decent sized colony now. I don't remember the name of it. Either way, it's about an inch and a half away from touching that colony. As soon as that Monty touches that colony, I'm ripping that whole rock structure out. Done. Starting over. I will go and get more rock, which I foresee that happening within the next month. So I'm going to go get some more rock and start curing it now, because that Green Monty's days are over. And I'll just start over. And I'm kind of debating on doing that with actually a couple rock structures, because Big Bertha played bulldozer with the far right rock structure and ripped out the entire Rainbow Granulosa colony. The entire thing. Half of it fell into the power head, started shredding it. And she's just looking at me like, yo, did I do that? Yeah, you did. So I'm thinking about taking out the middle left and the far right rock structure, and possibly because I have to get rid of that giant colony on the top of that ATL blue clover. I mean, half of it's growing out of the tank right now, and it's dead because it's out of the tank. So I'm probably going to take out that rock structure as well. Now, as for the far left one, I'm not touching that. I'm not messing with that. There's too many pieces to that. So yeah, I'll probably be doing some serious re-scaping soon, which is actually, now that I think about it, is definitely something that I want to do. I think at this point, just kind of starting the tank over a little bit and putting some corals in there that I haven't had in a long time is a good change of scenery. Help mix up the territories for the fish, because I just added a massive sailfin tang to the already sailfin tang, and then another hippo tang. So there's a little bit of aggression in there, so it might be good to move some things around. So yeah, I'll probably do that. I probably will. The only thing is I can't get Pucani, and I'll have to see how my bio load is going to be impacted by using different rock. So yeah, that's going to happen. Yeah, tank. I mean, I'm only going to get another year of growth. So that's the other thing too, is it worth spending the money to get another, I don't know, 100 pounds of rock just to be able to throw it out in the next year? And is the growth over the next year going to be worth or even justified for that rock? Am I going to grow out? I mean, the reality is, am I going to really grow out 12-inch colonies in less than a year on this new rock structure? I mean, it's possible, but I don't know. We'll see. I haven't really, I mean, it sounds like a good idea, but I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. Here we go. It's about 300 par, mine too. Cool. Well, there you go, Terry. Then leave it there. Should be good. Still waiting on my sump from Geo for my 75-gallon reef tank setup. I plan to run 1-inch drain, then 1-inch starting, return brought down to 3/4 inch. Do you think that efficiency enough for 75? Yeah, you'll be fine. That's totally fine. Yeah. Yeah. I actually have. Do I have 3/4 inch? I think I have 3/4 inch holes on my 300. I go from 1 inch down to 3/4. So yeah, you're fine, man. You're good. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I had some Red Monty. It is also close to my Walt Disney. That is exactly what that coral is. Walt Disney. It's about to go also. Yep. I have this green encrusting Monty. It is a nasty. I went in there with the Dremel. If you guys remember, I went in there and I hacked that thing up a year ago, and it's just like, nope, I'm back. I'm back. It already wiped out half of my tort, my purple tort, almost gone. Wiping out my fire digi, wiped out the entire colony of the fish of Hex, Crown of Glory, gone. The fish of Hex Monty, Rainbow Monty, gone. Wiped that out, and now it's going to the Walt Disney. So lesson to be learned. And I'll do a video on this on the top corals that you should not put in your SPS reef tank. Any encrusting Montipora. By the way, guys, I have encrusting Jason Fox Aquaman Montipora on the website. I literally just put up. I'm stupid sometimes. I literally just put up WYSIWYGs of encrusting Montipora on my website. So back to that. You guys definitely don't want to put encrusting Montipora on your rock structures. But if you want to put mine on there, it's totally fine. Travis, you are the best salesman ever. I know. Thank you. I know. This is why I make a ton of money. I talk people out of buying my own shit. Okay. Anyways, moving on. Tank fresh. Yep. Have you ever considered keeping seahorse tank? I would, but they are boring looking. I see. I have a very aggressive, kind of fits my personality type of tank. I mean, I have fish that just beat up each other all day long, and I enjoy that tank. If I go to a seahorse tank, I don't know. I guess I could. It'd be something that would have to be a separate system somewhere else in the house, because there is no seahorse vibe downstairs. It's we rock out with rap music and all sorts of stuff going on, and my fish beat up each other, and I work on my printers. So that's the kind of environment that we have downstairs. So yeah, but yeah, seahorses are cool. They're just not my thing. Kind of like jellyfish. Jellyfish are a cool idea. They don't live very long. I mean, they look cool. I mean, I don't know. Don't count on the 1 year plan. Just do it. See, the thing is I am, because I've been here for almost 5 years. I have to, like, next year, man, I just got to get that house stuff done, man. Like, the business can't stay here for more than another year and a half. Like, I'm handcuffed. I seriously cannot expand my business any more than it is right now. I can't, unless I start putting printers in my extra bathroom upstairs. I mean, my business is stuck. It's at a standstill because I can't grow any more coral because I don't have enough room, and I can't put any more printers down there at all. Like, I'm out of power. There's no more power that I could pull out of my house to run any of this stuff. So, I mean, if anybody looked at the mirror, the meter, they'd be like, why is this dude's electric bill $500 a month? Was he growing cocaine or growing cocaine, growing pot downstairs or something? No, it's just coral and 3D printers. So the problem is, if I don't leave in the next year and a half, like if I don't buy the house or build a house when this lease is finally up again, then I'm taking a huge hit on the business. That's why I'm doing some investments and kind of maybe opening up a couple other businesses that I'll have people kind of just run it, and they'll just pay them to do it. But yeah, it has to be done. Like, I have to leave. That's it. I learned my lesson also. Yeah, Terry, the freaking encrusting Monties, man. I could bitch about them all day. It's just like watching a car accident, but slower, much slower. You just seeing this Joker, and you get in there and you pick at it, right? And you try to chisel it off and try to get it because it's getting close, but you know it's going to happen. You know that dude's going to be rolling up on your coral soon and be done. Yeah. So encrusting Montipora, don't add them to your tank, but if you want to buy mine, go ahead. They're on the website. Just put them on there. Anyways, where you place the Montipora spondones, I'm going to say it like that because I'm dumb like that. But as you know, I've got plenty of room in my 609. I put mine at, where do I have it in the tank? I have it on the middle left rock structure in the back at about 450 par. But I've grown that stuff on the sand bed when I had sand, and I've grown that stuff up really high around 700, 800 par. So it looks a lot better in lower par because you'll get a more deeper, darker green around the black polyps. So I would say put it about 300, 350, 400, and you should be good to go. It's going to grow up and out. I mean, it's so, as long as it's kind of like a bushier type, but it will encrust as well, depending on kind of how your system is. But yeah, can't wait for the 1,000-gallon videos. Yeah, you and me both, Terry. I can't wait to see how much that tank is going to officially cost. It's gonna be ridiculous. 10 foot by 4 foot by 3 foot peninsula, and then a geo sump and calcium reactor to boot, plus the 5 or 6 additional white tub tanks, plus all the lighting. Man, by the way, I will be running Kessel on probably all the lighting except for the main display. I'll probably do Radeons and T5s on that just because I want to do both types of lighting. And I really, really, I'm not just saying this because, Kessel lets me sell their shit. I really like Kessel lighting over the frag tubs. It's awesome. If you've seen the pictures that I post on Instagram, it looks amazing. And then the Coral just does really well with it. Plus, you can go into the phone, hit the app, and you can set a setting for when you got to do pictures, and it just goes right to the setting that you have, and it's perfect. So I can't do that with the Radeons. I probably could somehow, but I don't have it set up that way because my WXM module took a dump, so I have to do it the other way. But yeah, so I'm pretty happy about that. So I don't even know how much that system's going to cost, but I know it's going to be a lot. The tank is probably going to be 20, 30 grand by itself, not including lighting, just the tank and the stand. Easily. Ugh. Just thinking about it. I guess I'm going to have to sell the Nismo, huh? I'm going to have to sell that car. I was debating on getting rid of it and just getting a Raptor anyways. Get rid of my truck too. I don't know. My car love changes based on the season. Winter's coming, so I'm like, I want to get a new truck. Summer's coming. Let me go and get a Ferrari this time. But yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I like the Nismo though. I calibrated my Apex dose every time I refill the liquid. Man, that's you. Man, George. I don't do that, but I guess if you got that kind of time, George, do it. What do you got going on back there? Is that your garage? I can't see. It's like a bunch of stuff behind you. All right. Road Crammers, where would you recommend placing some Monteport? I think we already answered this, right? I like Monty's, planning on having several of them scrolling and plating. So anything plating and scrolling should be on the outer side of the rock work. You can put put the spandones or however else you want to say it. I don't know how to say that right. But anyways, you can put that in the middle of the rock structure because I know what your rock structure looks like, and you'll be fine. It'll grow up, and you'll see it fine. But definitely don't put anything scrolling or plating in the middle. It's gonna shade everything out. Put it on the edges so it grows out towards the glass. Trust me on that. I mean, you can even see in the video here that red Monty in the back, right there. I think it's just disgustingly monstrous. Well, it was. It's just pisses it off and says, "Oh yeah, watch this." Yeah, yeah. And then you get flakes of that encrusting Monty. If you chisel at it, the flakes float around the tank and it just lands next to another SPS. Yeah, man, I get it. Lessons learned. I'll probably do a video on that. I'm also going to do a video on like a hydrometer. I had to talk to a guy that dropped core off today, and he's like, I can't figure out what's going on. My tank can't figure out what's going on. He's like, yeah, I finally found out what it was. And he was using a hydrometer that was saying 1.025. And then when he got the refractometer, he was actually at 0.29. So he was a lot higher in the salinity. He fixed that and everything went back to normal. So maybe I'll do a video on that too. Calibration is easy on the Jabo. I'm going to run a 75% of my daily dosing until all the numbers are lined up. 20 plus milliliters a day on each supplement became a lot. Yeah, no, I understand. I understand when you start, especially if you have stuff going on, dosing anything daily by hand is regardless of the amount can be a pain. So I understand. I mean, it's best to have, even if it's a cheap Jabo doser, it's better to have something consistently than have nothing at all. But I would just say calibrate when you can, and at least once a month, just to make sure it's doing what it has to do. Especially if you have to dose things that require equal amounts, it's just good to do that. Let me answer this question right here. Any encrusting SPS doable with acros? No. And I'm sure somebody out there is going to say that the only thing that's safe with acros are other acros, and even that to a certain extent isn't true. I know when it comes to placement of acros, putting stag horns together if you can. The only problem is when you put the same type or species of acro together, the tank doesn't look as natural as it should, even though it does allow the corals to grow longer and larger and intertwine with each other. What's up, Marcus? Late as usual, I get it. But it does allow you to kind of grow them together without worrying about them killing each other off. But it's just not going to look as natural, right? So personally, if for me, my next build will be the main display will be 100% Acropora, nothing else, not a single Monty, not a single regular SPS, not a bird's nest, not a Zoa, not a LPS, not a mushroom, not a nothing. 100% acro. That way I can control the growth the way I want. And I don't have to worry about having some creepy encrusting Monty coming through and wiping out. That colony's probably, I don't know, $2,000 worth of coral that this Joker's just about to creep up on over the next month. So, yeah, it's just not, it's just, I don't know. I look at this differently than most people, I would say, because I'm running a business and my business is to grow coral as efficiently and as quickly as possible. When I have something like an Amati coming through and wiping out thousands of dollars of coral, that's a huge problem. And because I didn't think about that in the beginning, I will just chop that up to the list of things that I've learned through this experience. And yeah, a mixed reef is beautiful, but a mixed reef doesn't stay beautiful for long, just because everything's fighting for resources, everything's fighting, and it's just a battle of the strongest. And usually, an Acropora doesn't win that battle, unfortunately. It's just kind of how it is, depending on the species. Definitely not a tort. Tort ain't winning nothing. But yeah, moving on. Thanks for the videos. Hey, no problem. You should get an acrylic tank and go. You go to 2000. I don't like acrylic. I don't like it. I don't know what it is. I don't like it though. It just feels weird. Best sales pitch ever. You guys should definitely not buy encrusting Monty. But by the way, I just added a bunch of encrusting Monty to the website. Go check it out. There you go. But when you guys are going to buy it anyways, because you guys support me no matter what I say, which is, I wish everybody was like that. Anyways, we already talked about that. Yeah, the acrylic tank. Terry says, I have a Kessel and T5 over my display. Love them. Yep. Kessel and T5s work out good. I don't think I'm ever going to put T5s over my tubs. I think just the Kessels alone are enough. I think they'll be perfect. I think they're perfect. Yeah. I think what I'll do for the next build is I'll probably do I don't know if they probably have a new light by then. I'm most positive they will, but I would put 4 of the AP9Xs over one of those tubs. It's perfect. It's essentially kind of what I got now with the 4 A360Xs, but yeah, Kessel does a good job. I mean, Radeon does a good job too. So just to each his own, I suppose. And I'm to each's both. Yeah, beautiful tank. It was beautiful. It's good about video. You could just be like, oh, that's what it used to look like. And we already answered that question. Man, we only got 8 minutes left of the stream. Jeez, that went by quick. Got any octo spawn? Got an octo spawn hasn't opened in like a month. Everything else is happy. Any ideas or tips? Just relocate it. If everything else is happy, leave it alone. As in, leave the water parameters alone. Don't mess with anything. Don't mess with the light. Don't mess with the flow. Just move it around. See what happens. Just move it around and give it different flow. That's what I would do. But if everything else is happy, I think I mentioned a video on this. I think I talked about the video. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was one of those recent ones. You can't make every coral happy, and sacrificing things and sacrificing water parameters and things to make one coral happy. Just you're risking everything else. So Marcus is late. We addressed that already. Yep, acro only, the only way to go. Correct, Terry. That is 100% correct. Glass tanks that size will be as heavy as hell. Yeah. Well, that's why I just get a bunch of minions. I'm pretty sure if I put out a notification 6 months in advance, like, hey guys, we're gonna do a giant party at my house, and there's gonna be strippers and barbecue and all sorts of stuff, but I need at least 20 people to come help me move this tank. I'm sure 50 of you jokers are gonna show up. By the way, bring your own chips. And I'm probably gonna do that. I'm like, hey, we're having a massive party, as in cookout. We're gonna be grown adults here. We'll probably do some jujitsu in the backyard. You guys have to sign a waiver. So when you guys get knocked out, it's not my fault. So we'll probably beat each other up. We'll do some stuff, play some music, eat some food, and move the tank around. So that will happen at some point. Yep. anyways, Monty's helped me get into the hobby. Love how they grow and look, but now I have the now I know they just eventually take over way too much. Yep, it's true. They are beautiful. I love Monty's. Like red Monty cap is again. I say it's one of my favorite corals. I have so many of them. Strippers and food on there. Yeah. But yeah. So I mean, they're good. I love the red Monty, but Monty's in general, they're just going crazy. Here we go. Hey Travis, I bought the 20 pack from you a month ago. They are growing like crazy. Good to hear, Ryan. I actually took the 20 pack off. I'm about to take the 15 pack off soon. I might do that actually. I'll probably leave it up for the next couple days, but I'm probably gonna pull the 15 pack down and just do the 10 pack because of the sheer amount of coral. I mean, you got to think. I was giving 20 frags away for $300 shipped. Most of the shipments cost me about $50. So for $250, I was giving away 20 frags. That's insane. You guys wonder why I don't have any coral. So I probably keep the 15 up for a little while. I'm most likely going to bring it down to 10. And then, the price is not going to be 300 for 10, but it'll be the normal price for 10, just because of the sheer amount of coral that is going out. Let's see here. Yeah, I saw that video. Have been relocating. Still no luck. Appreciate the response, brother. Hey, just keep going, man. I'd hate for you. I just don't want you to make any changes to the tank. I mean, you double check your nutrients. That's what's a big thing about opening them up. Thanks for the emoji bomb, George. I love tacos. Yeah. Yeah, I'd hate for you to make any changes to the tank because I just think that you're gonna cause further issues. And what happens if that coral starts getting happy and then the rest of your tank isn't? What are you gonna do then, right? You're gonna revert back to what you already have going on. So you're gonna be like, whatever. So just keep that in mind. Man, we're getting done, almost done. Setting up a new 150 gallon. Got 3 Kessel's A360X already. Would Reef Bright strips be good to fill in the light instead of the T5s? Yeah, I mean, Reef Brights are awesome. I was considering doing that alongside with the grow out tubs. Yeah, you're not gonna have any issues with that. For sure. For a 150, what is that? Is that how long is that? If it's 6 foot, I would do another A360X. Is it 6 foot? No, 6 foot you do 3, 8 foot you do 4. I think. I don't know. I'm I'm more used to even numbers when it comes to lighting. Just kind of my thing. But I always feel weird about having an odd number, but that's probably just some OCD shit there. But yeah, Reef Brights would be good. It's gonna be a sausage fest. Yeah, it probably would be. That's fine. I'll fly out and make tacos. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. Yeah. Bring the gang. Bring Fred. D. Bring him out. It'd be cool. Yeah, I would love some tacos right now. I'm starving. I can't eat tacos. Okay, so I actually started. I don't know if I tell you guys this stuff, and I'm gonna talk for a little bit more after. But so I usually don't eat. I'm pretty low carb in general because I function. I feel like my brain functions better when I don't eat a lot. So, but I found out that trying to do jujitsu with no carbohydrates is awful. So I try to do a little bit of carb loading on Sunday nights to kind of push me over to Wednesday. And it's not Sunday. And that's my point of my saying this. It's not Sunday, and I would really like tacos right now. But we can always turn Thursday into Sunday. One of the benefits of being an adult, you can make those decisions. All right, Travis, since you know my lighting on my tank, what would you think about me adding 4 A360X and lights for more pop and par? I would place 2 in the back, the 80/20 rack, and 2 in the front. I think that's a decent idea. I know that you have that acrylic kind of sticking in a little bit. I don't know if is that cutting down on the par as well. I know you have the acrylic bracing right there. I mean, that's fine, man. If you want to dump the money on it and see if it works, worst case scenario, you don't like it, you can use the lights on other things. But yeah, that's probably not a bad idea. Strippers food in there. Yeah, I mean, we had a little get together when we moved the 125, when we moved the 300 in here. We had a little get together. A lot of you guys came. I gave coral away. We hung out. We made a little bit of food. It was pretty decent. I definitely want to do something a little bit bigger. And also, one thing I definitely want to do is with the relocating, I want to set up the separate kitchen so I can start making and selling my fish food. That's a huge aspect of the business that I can't do here. And I really, 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 really want to do that. That's like, and I got people who would do that for me and just come over and work and do it. So that's the kind of thing I want. But anyways, set up a new tank, bare bottom 4 weeks ago. Parameters seem stable. Added an acro 1 week ago and is doing well. Should I keep adding more? Well, I'm assuming. I mean, did you the rock cycled? Everything's good. Everything's stable. Then if it's up for 4 weeks and you're growing an acro and it seems to be fine, then yeah, you can add more. I would say just stick with the easier stuff, stag horns, that kind of thing. Just basic acros. Stay away from the torts for right now. Maybe give it a little bit more time. But hey, if it's working and you did everything right and you're growing acros in 4 weeks, then yep, do it, man. You can buy those acros at fishofhex.com because I'm plugging myself. That sounded dirty, but you know what I mean. I would help if I could. I know you're in what? I don't know where you are. Based on this ocean here, you're somewhere in the world. I don't remember where you said you were. Oh, no, you're not Australia. No, you're not the one that brought up the kangaroo thing, right? No, but you were talking about kangaroos. Yeah, let's don't get me started on them. All right. Travis, curious if you ever have had some die off and sent out an ICP test and it all came back okay, except slight low on iodine and on iron. But all else is good. What else could cause it? Thoughts? Well, low iodine and iron is just it happens. It just happens through the process of corals growing and pulling out nutrients. You can do an iron and iodine supplement. I think Brightwell Aquatics has one. I used to dose it into the refugium. It's like a dropper, and it has those things. So yeah, I mean you can dose that stuff. But yeah, that just gets used up over time. Macroalgae uses it to grow as well. Pretty sure it's one of those two. I don't remember which one. It's one of them, but yeah, it might even be both. But yeah, I'm distracted by tacos. I'm trying to concentrate here. We're almost done with this live stream. Yep, here we go. Talking about tacos, a bunch of dick emojis. Guys, never depress. There we go. All right, I'm going to use your a 360X schedule when they come tomorrow. I'm going to use your A360X schedule when they come. Okay, cool. Awesome. How many different types of corals do you have in your main display? I have no clue. I almost thought that said Brandon. By the way, I got a brother named Brand. Is that Brandon? It is, isn't it? Just different than I'm used to spelling it. But I do have a brother named Brandon, not spelled that way though. It's O-N, not E-N. Is it O-N? It is O-N. I don't know. Shit. We'll look that up. Anyways, yeah. I don't know how many I have. Not as many as I used to. I don't know. I wish I can give you an answer. Are purple tangs overrated price-wise, Travis? Oh, yes. I got this one for free because he was an a-hole and he was killing his tank mates. So his guy gave it to me. But yeah, they're cool. They definitely don't grow as fast as I thought they would. He's super slow at growing. But so isn't the yellow-eyed coal tang. That thing doesn't grow very fast either. But fish prices are ridiculous right now anyways. Would you consider making Magnetic Rock Island for backwall? And no, I would not. I mean, I would not make it myself just because I don't like the way the magnets. I've reached out to many companies about getting magnets, and there's always like, we're not going to guarantee that it's not going to let salt water in through the coating. And I'm like, well, I need a guarantee because as soon as a magnet starts rusting, that is a disaster for a tank. And I don't want somebody buying one of my items and then having it rust out. So that's why I use suction cups. But because I'm not going to risk it. No way ever. Hey Travis, upon request, do you sell larger frags like 1/2 inch, 2 inch, or more basic stuff? I can, yeah. Send me an email of what you want. But yeah, I can do that. But if it's out of stock on the website, there's a good chance that it's out. I just don't have it. But just Mike, just email me. Better yet, don't email me. Go to my website, go to the chat, and message me on the chat. Because if you email me, that's going to go into the email oblivion. And trust me, it's not safe over there. It's a pretty rough place to be. Ask anybody who's emailed me, never got a response. Shit happens all the time. But yeah, so just message me on my website because it's going to send me notifications and it's not going to stop until I talk to you. So just send me, just tell me what you want. I'll let you know if it's in stock and I'll send you an invoice. Have you ordered from me before? Because if you have, you're probably already in the website. If you don't have an account on the website, make one. That way, when I search you to send you an invoice, it will pop up your address and all that kind of stuff. If not, it's okay. We'll figure it out. But yeah, just message me. I'll get that done for you. I have two, and just remember though, Mike, it's going to be at least 2 weeks for those to heal. So I'll cut them. If you order them tonight, I'll cut them tomorrow. But it's going to be 2 weeks to heal, just like the cut to order frags. Okay. All right. Cool. Thanks, man. I have two large portholes on my tank that are 36 times 33. Oh, at the top there. Yeah. I know what you're talking about, Mike. What size screw fits the back of a Kessel light? Is it 7mm? Man, what kind? I know I'm a genius over here and I know everything, right? I'm God's gift to YouTube, right? No, I'm just kidding. That's somebody else. There we go. But I don't know that answer. I might have to Google that shit. That's a random question. I'm sorry. I wish I could give you the answer. I don't. North Carolina. That's right. Man, kangaroos and camel toes. All right, we're gonna 5 more minutes and I'm leaving. 5 more minutes and I'm out of here. I got shit to do tonight, especially QuickBooks. I got lots of QuickBooks. My CPA is so freaking pissed off at me. So mad at me. Unbelievably mad at me. And I just put my hands up in the air and I go, I'm sorry. I got you're not the only thing in my life getting neglected. Don't worry. Don't feel bad. I got a quarantine system set up. I have Monty eating nudies. Ugh. My question is, should I move the affected corals to the QT or move all the unaffected Monties to the quarantine? Okay, I got a quarantine system set up. I have Monty eating. So you have nudies in the main. You have the nudibranchs in the main display. Oh boy. How would I do that? I would get the infected stuff out of the tank and hopefully take the infection with them, if that makes sense, and put them in quarantine. Matter of fact, I hate to say this, someone's going to be mad about it. Montipore eating nudibranchs are a disaster. If I had a coral and it's a frag and I saw them on there, that frag would go in the trash, period. I know that sounds mean, but lesser of two evils. Do you want to be eaten alive or you just want to dry up and die? Like, you're going to die either way. Those things are awful. Toss it. I'd toss it. Just like she said, I would definitely toss it. Boy, fuck. That's the thing, man. That's quarantine corals before you put them in the main display. I mean, you gotta do it. Montipore eating nudibranchs, and I say this again, acropore eating flatworms and Montipore eating nudibranchs are the worst pests in the history of SPS tanks. Period. The worst. Like, you could take a turd and drop it in your tank, leave it there for a month, and it would still be better than having those two pests in your tank eating your coral alive. Awful stuff. And I feel bad for anybody who has them. Just, oh man, they suck so bad. Trace elements, how are you tracking them? ICP? Yeah, I do an ICP test. I just sent one out today, actually. But yeah, I check them out. I just do an ICP test probably right now I'm doing it every like 6 months just to kind of see where the tank's at and if I need to make any adjustments or if my kids maybe threw a handful of screws in there and I didn't see them, that kind of thing. It's basically an insurance policy. Yes, your brother is on. He is. Keeping MagFlow scrubber in the tank bad. If you don't need to, I wouldn't. I don't like keeping mine in there. It just looks dumb for one. Gets covered in a bunch of crap. And if you don't need to have something with the possibility of rusting in the tank, then don't put it in there. That's just, if it doesn't need to be there, don't do it. All right. Hard lesson to learn, I guess. Yeah. It's a devastating lesson. I had a guy come to me, send me pictures, and I ain't gonna say his name. Not gonna say his name. This guy had a 220 gallon completely packed with acros, fuller than my 300, and he got an acropore eating flatworm that wiped out half the tank. It wasn't just one worm. It was they were humping each other and becoming wormapalooza in there, and they were just scarfing down the corals and having worm sex all over his tank, and he lost almost everything. The only thing he did is he went in and he cut out as many corals as he could. He cut the base off of all the colonies, put them in a different frag system, and saved those colonies. Everything else, including the rock, everything gone. Yeah. It's rough, man. It's rough. And the thing is, you can grow out a beautiful acropora tank for 3 years, and it's just packed full, the best looking tank in the world. And then you get a frag from a frag swap, and you're like, oh, this guy's reputable. I know him. He knows my cousin John who slept with Betty and his sisters, whatever. He knows, he's an awesome dude, right? And then you put that coral in your tank, not quarantining it, done. That's it. I consider acropore eating flatworms and nudibranchs the STDs of the saltwater community. Fucking all right, we're done with this live stream. I'm getting the hell out of here because that's the signal that we're going downhill. And I'm gonna make tacos because why not? Anyways, guys, I'm gonna post up the next live stream. Notification is gonna go out. If you want to support the channel, head over to fishofhex.com, buy the new Monties. There will be a whole bunch of new corals coming out over the week. And yeah, I'll see you later. Peace.